rocking East Tennessee High School Sports Podcast, bringing you all the exclusive interviews with some of the hottest players coming out of high school and the coaches from around the country here. Make sure you like and share this podcast and stay tuned in each week. But enough of this, let's get it.
Alright, welcome to In the Loud.
Coach Rock,
Coach O.
we were AE, Coach Antonio, head coach, and Coach Chuck.
Sir, what's up, fellas? Appreciate y'all being on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Antonio, this your first year, correct?
No. This is my 9th year at Austin East, and this is going into my 4th year as a head coach.
Okay, I don't know why I thought you was your first year. Coming in last week, y'all off 41-20 to Carter. But that seems like y'all got some things going towards second half. What do you feel y'all can carry on from that second half performance into this week?
Well, it's belief. You know, the kids believe in number 10. Number 10 is a natural leader. Definitely gave us a spark, and so this belief is a wonderful thing.
I want to talk a little bit about that, Coach, because I was watching that game on social media, and I was also keeping up with social media, Facebook posts. I'm on that stuff heavy. And I was watching it, man, and all the fans, I'm talking about all the fans was calling for Shane to get in the game. Take us through the steps of what was the decision to put him in, Coach? Because it seemed like the whole community wanted him in.
Well, we got a smart community.
Yeah.
We had a practice. Coach Michaela brought it into the coaches meeting that we needed to bring some packages in. And so we put some packages in Sunday to include him and a couple other kids at that position. And actually, we put him in a bad situation. If you remember, it was, I believe it was like 3rd and 15. He went in there and he scrambled for 16 yards. And then, the rest is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, 2 games in the book so far, Coach. How do you feel? Well, what do you feel your strongest suit of your team is after these 2 games?
After the first 2 games, like I said, it's belief. You know, we had a vision how we thought it was going to happen, and it didn't happen that way. Yeah. That being said, number 10 sparked the kids. Like you said, the community's behind them, the kids are behind them, and let's not forget about 15. 15 still has some talent that he can contribute, and the coaches are making sure that happens.
That's traveling, right, Coach?
Yeah, that's traveling. And so, we are a team, and it's our job to put the best 11 on the field.
Yes, sir. It is.
Hey, Coach, talk about a little bit this week. Y'all go on the road to South Florida. What have you seen on film and that you feel like y'all can take advantage of, and how y'all feel like y'all can pan that's right?
Well, I always feel that we have a natural advantage in speed, whoever we go against. South Florida is coached extremely well. They're deep. Every team that we go up against is going to have more kids than us. But I do think there are certain advantages that we have. I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but I do feel like if we get our kids in space, that'll be a little bit more difficult for them to handle.
Okay. Coach Chuck, this question for you. As a former player up here, I know you got a lot of school pride, and I know you love your school, man. Talk to us a little bit about what is it going to take to get it back to when you played?
Like you were saying, belief, and as far as the community a little more, and getting kids to come out and want to be a part of something great again. I think we started to make some turns this season. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't speak on previous season, but this season from where we started to where we're going now, I can see that happen. Like we still got kids trying to come out and play. The numbers are a little better this year. So really just finding ways to get people to believe in what we got going on and to strive forward and winning some games. And
what do you feel? What do you feel like is, looking at it from a coaching standpoint? Do you feel like more guys from the area like you need to step up and kind of help, or what's your input on that? Because man, coaching is a hard job. Giving back is a hard job, man. especially when it ain't going out the way you want it to go, and you gotta build it back up. Most people can't hang in there for that build up.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about, do you think more guys that played, former players, should come back and support? Talk to us a little bit about
Yeah, I
that.
definitely do. Like, that's another thing as far as community. Like, we need more guys. Like, even if it's not coaches, just show up, help. Like, we struggle trying to get stuff for the kids.
Yeah, financially.
Like, just show that you care.
Mhm.
Like, it is show that the kids, that the community care too.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, we definitely need more of that. Right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, let's talk about number 10. I know you spoke on it briefly earlier. Let's talk about how the effect he had in the game and this dual threat he could have going and passing, and then you still use him at receiver a little bit too.
Well, when I asked him to come out for football, I told him, I said, son, I watched you dunk a basketball. All I need you to do is go up and go get the ball.
Right.
I had no plans to put him at quarterback. And that being said, that young man has a promising future athletically, specifically in basketball. And I didn't want to come with a selfish approach of trying to use him to play football.
Mhm.
Wanted to allow his talent to be showcased, but also keep him where he was in a situation to where Coach Bertrand will be calling me either at the end of the game. That being said, you know, when he came out there, there's a lot of things that you learn, and then there's some things that God gives you.
Right.
Shane has gifts and talents that he got from the man upstairs. That's not something I've heard on social media. That's not something I've heard from another coach. I've witnessed it myself. That being said, you want to be able to nurture that and do what's best for your football team.
Coach, if I'm new to the area and I want to explore Austin East, not just for the school, but just for the football program, and I don't know anything about the coaches or nothing, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us where you kind of got started at, Coach.
Well, I appreciate that question because I was new to the area. And I ain't know anything about Austin East. And I came in on 8th grade field day.
Mhm.
And I came in and the band was playing. The cheerleaders were celebrating. And I said, this right here remind me of home. I like this right here.
Mhm.
And I was working at Willow Springs at the time. They was trying to get me to go over to that other school. I don't say that words, you know what I'm saying? But I personally,
Your place.
where I'm at, oh, you from Fulton? We all make mistakes. But, you know, me personally, and I say this all the time, I'm not a football coach. I'm a mentor who builds the kingdom of God through football.
Yes, sir.
You know, I played football on every level.
Yes, sir.
I've coached on every level except for the professional level. So I've seen the good and the bad from football. And I'm trying to use this as a way to get to the kids, build boys to men, and give the community positive citizens of society. Now, we do it with football. If you go to the Eastside on any given night, it's Austin East football. That's what I love about the community over here. We love Austin East. And that's what we have. That's what we nurture. Just like where I'm from. Where I'm from, I went to East High. I'm from the east side of town.
Mhm.
And it reminds me so much of home that this is my way of giving. Now, that being said, it's my responsibility to put smiles on the faces of the people that come to the games.
Yes, sir.
And that's winning. You know what I'm saying? You can say you want to do this and you want to do that, but at the end of the day, you want to have one more point than other teams.
Right.
And that's why I'm glad that Coach Michaela, Coach Kimbrough, Coach Stevenson has been volunteering, Coach Gilliard has been volunteering. These are community gentlemen. A guy that I coach, Coach Cook, these are all community guys that's coming back. And you know, they didn't come with their hand out. They came trying to give. And I can appreciate that. And that's what we need. We need the community. We need the community to back us. We need the community to support us, and I feel that. And it's our job, my job in particular, to put a smile on the face. And that's why we work the hours we do.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Fulton. I know y'all not playing this year, probably for the first time in a while. Are we gonna see that game back on the schedule, or what can we do to get that game back on the schedule?
When they feel like they can't lose to us, that's all it was.
Okay.
That's all it really was. Fulton, this is probably one of the worst teams I've seen Fulton have in a long time. And they done had some.
Right.
So that's what I just think it was myself. They just didn't want us to beat them.
You know, we catching on that all-time record, man. We drawing in close. What you think the reason is, Coach?
Oh, I know what the reason is.
Talk to us.
So after every 2 years, you are the classes, you have to reclass
Right.
based upon the numbers. And once you do that, you have a region set of games, and then you reach out to games that you would like to play. That being said, I reached out through text message, I reached out through phone calls, and I reached out through email. Nothing. I brought it to the attention of my AD. He spoke to their AD. Nothing. So I asked for a meeting with my principal and my athletic director because I know how that game is to the community.
Right.
And I didn't want the community to think that I was the one who didn't want to play for them. And they said that there were some issues at our last game with security, and that they feared that there would be a security issue for the next 2 years. So that's what was told to me. That being said, you would think there would be a fear of security in basketball too.
Yeah.
You would think there would be a fear in track as well. You would think there would be a fear in any other time we would get together. Or how about move the game to a Saturday? You know, where during the day. So I'm a little upset about that. My kids want to play Fulton. I want to play Fulton. They didn't want to play us.
Speaking from a former Falcon, man, that's kind of disappointing to hear. Like you said, I went to that basketball game last year when they played Fulton. It was packed.
Every time.
It was at a neutral site later on down the road at South Door, but
that was
it was impacted. South Door got a big gym.
Yeah.
And it was so packed, it wasn't nowhere to sit. So I agree with Coach. If we can still make it work in basketball and let's make it work for football. Because like I feel like it's big for the community on both sides.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, you got people from Eastside that don't like each other. That's just a part of a rivalry. But once you grow up and you want the better, not just for your community, just for all, man, that game got to be on the schedule. Fulton Falcon fans, that game has to be on the schedule. It's a tradition that Fulton and AE plays.
So y'all definitely won't play them this year and next year, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, we do the schedule.
Because it's a 2-year commitment.
Okay.
So the schedule that we have now, it just flips next year. So for instance, we started off with William Blunt there. William Blunt's coming home next year. We have to go to Carter next year. We get South Doyle home. So it just flips.
Right.
So
The only thing that'll be different will be the homecoming.
Okay.
Y'all heard it, Fulton. Let's get that game back on the schedule. Let's make it happen. Coach Chuck, do you ever show the guys old film or talk to them about history of the game, man? Because when I played you guys, it was a fearsome place to come. Like what you said, you had the band rolling,
Right.
the cheerleaders, the fans was, uproar.
Right.
The colors are some of the beautiful colors put together in one, man, like the uniforms, just the atmosphere itself. Do you talk to the guys a little bit about that and let them know the tradition of the Raw Run?
Yeah, I talked about it. Actually, Coach Timmy is on our coaching staff, and he coached me when I was in high school.
Okay.
So he pulled out, what was it, 03 to 05, like our state year to like my sophomore year, which was like our best little run in a long time. And like they sat here and watched it before we played. What was it? Carter. Yeah. So yeah, they got to see it. They enjoyed it.
That's good. That's good because.
Can I say something if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because some of the kids that we have on this team was watching their daddies.
Yeah.
Play, yeah. Because the Brown
Yeah,
kids,
CB.
Zach Corey Brown,
CB.
shout out to CB. I played against him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history and a lot of good players that came through this program, man. And I just
want
want
to see his brother.
Yeah, Troutman and his brother. So I just want to, ask that question because guys like you and even before you guys done paved the way in this history up here, man. And I'm a Fulton Falcon, man, but I always, I would like to see it back to where it was.
Yeah.
It always went through Fulton and Austin East. So I would like to see that back to where it was for sure.
Hey, Coach, let's talk about, I know the two freshmen they got, Kindness and the other, Ely? Yeah.
We got more than just two.
I know you got more than two, but them the two I had seen in the games I watched. I just noticed them two out there, making helping with the game.
Yeah, definitely. Kindness is a corner. I have him in class. Jaden is a safety, but Jaden is an athlete.
Right.
Yeah, not to say the kindness is not, but we use Jay in a lot of different areas.
Okay.
I also have him in class. Those kids came ready to play, and that's that's a shout out to the little league coaches. You know what I mean? Because they got those kids running our plays in our system. That's why it's so important to have a relationship with the little league. So a situation that happened like it did last week, those kids can come right in and play, and they did.
Right.
You know.
Well, speaking of Little League, Chuck, are you over the Little League? Hey, I know you coach multiple teams. I know you always done that. So, I mean,
Well, I'm not actually over it. Drew's and Melvin's still over it. I just do a lot to help them. And actually, I'm just coaching one team this year because I'm up here. And it's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
Now, y'all got some people going on the road this weekend,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My team is going to, my second team is going to Georgia. We got CDJ and Twin City
Good luck, man.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, sir. Good luck to the 7U road
Yeah,
runners.
good luck.
So that mean you ain't gonna be at the beat Sunday?
I don't know. Who's going to tell you about that Friday?
What you think about that TU game Saturday?
Man, I was glad I missed it.
I was glad it was
Yeah, I know.
the week.
I knew it was going to turn out us winning. I thought we would win by 2 touchdowns instead of 1. Coaching, man.
Yeah.
It just comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
Like when you can read and draw up a play.
Yeah. Like, we was talking about how
They got a beautiful
Down
the play scored on him. I mean,
I'm talking about
like I
right
said,
in the
we
city.
kept talking.
And then the kid that scored, the kid, even more coach, the kid that scored it, played center all last year. Now he played tight end.
So
You lose
now you're
kids,
tight
and
end.
now when you lose kids, now you find the dominant rough.
Yeah, find a dominant rough. I love it, Coach. I love it. Coach, talk to us. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say everybody know your pride for the 2800.
Yeah.
Everybody know it.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about why you left Josh Jones at Birdie, Coach.
Okay, well,
That's tough to lose. Believe it or
Yeah.
not.
it was tough, but it really wasn't. I was coming here regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everything happened for a reason. I knew I could learn from Josh, the type of coaching staff he was going to have there. You know what I mean? I kind of already had a relationship with Josh before that, but people don't know. Like, me and Josh and Lil Chuck would sit around and talk about football.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the stuff that me and Lil Chuck was running, like, we got from him.
Josh, right?
You know what I mean? So, I was only going there just to learn more of the defensive side and more of what, you know what I mean? I always wanted to be here. Like you said, this is me. I always wanted to be here.
Yep.
But the opportunity came where I could go learn, and I knew the type of stuff that Josh was going to learn. I knew I could learn football. So I was just really there, really just been observing and trying to get better as a coach. Until the opportunity here was better for me to say,
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about being with Josh that year. Do you see yourself now better, fit to help the road runners?
Yeah, a whole lot. Like I said, on the defense, I play defense, but I never really cared about the back end. And going over there, learning from Coach Jay, which was the linebacker coach, and Lane and
Kevin Lane.
and my boy Ad. Like, I paid attention to them a lot on the DBs and like linebackers. Linebackers was really like finding them where they're supposed to drop the coverage is where, because I didn't really do that a little bit. I'm center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My DBs, we're gonna play man to man or we'll play over the top. So yeah, it was like just sitting in meetings with them and listening to them guys go at it about scheming and listen to different point of views and just hearing Jay talk about his time in Salvador and how he, you know what I'm saying, he was there for the build up of that.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I learned a lot from them guys and I definitely feel like it's helping me as a coach, period, and helping me bring something to the table over here.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, you said you've been here 9 years, correct? And you only been head coach 3.
This is my fourth season.
Fourth season, okay. What position did you coach before you got promoted?
Oh, it's only one position on the football field. That's D-line, baby.
D-line?
That's D-line, baby.
I like it,
That's
Coach.
D-line, baby.
I like it, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when I came here, I told Jeff Phillips was the head coach at the time. I said I don't want to be a coordinator. I don't want to do no special teams. Just let me coach the D-line, and I did it for 1 year.
Speaking of defensive line a little bit, and both of y'all can kind of answer this question. It's a kid named DeAndre. I had the privilege of play against in middle school. He actually, him and a couple of guys from Birdie, they took two little league championships from him, man. 3.
Well, now your son was the captain that last year.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but they still ended up pulling it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So, but He was one of them guys, man, that I had a game plan for, man. Talk to his rising sophomore. Talk to us a little bit about
So
him.
DeAndre's, he's still that kid. He just right now crap's killing him.
Yeah.
Because he go both ways. Like he's a dog, you know. He to me, I think that's our top dog.
Yeah.
But we kind of experimented and moving around different because you know, if we can get some other kids to give us a rush, we gotta have a dog somewhere else.
Yeah.
So he's been on the move a lot. So his season ain't jumped off like he probably wanted to, but we putting a lot on him. I feel his defense, but I think he's taking it on well, and whether he want to do it or not, he one of them kids gonna do what we have.
Yeah, he definitely a dog on that field, man.
Yeah, he definitely a dog.
Definitely watch for him. And I want to talk to you, Coach, and Tony. I'm gonna ask you this one. It's another kid you got over here, and I coached him from 7 all the way up, man. And I love his kid like he my own, man. Shout out to my dude DJ, man. Darius Cannon, man. He didn't pick. At first, he didn't play. He had to kind of find his way. Then he called me this season. He was like, "Coach, I'm back on the field." Talk to me a little bit about my boy, man.
I didn't expect DJ to play. DJ is little. DJ is not one of the strongest kids, but he came to the weight room in the summertime every day. He worked his way up to become a starter. So DJ was starting. He had oral surgery recently, so he's got to sit out a while. But I love the path that young man's taken. I tell a story about a sheepdog. I'm not gonna go into depth, but pretty much those sheepdogs, they have to acquire skills that other dogs don't because they're so little. Either they gonna die or they gonna survive. But if you survive, you acquire certain tools, and that's who he is.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the film and I'm looking at him and I'm watching him pancake kids bigger than him. And I'm loving it, you know. Yeah. So I'm glad he's a part of the team. I'm glad he's working, and I look forward to his future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my dude DJ, man. I'm glad he's doing well over here. Both of y'all can kind of touch on this question as well. What are some of you guys' future plans to get the program back to where it's supposed to be?
Question, Coach. That's my last question.
I'll take it. Everybody brings a certain set of skills. And Coach Michaela, he'll say, "Coach, man, we here now. You ain't got to do everything, Coach. I know you ain't used to this." And he's right. You know what I mean? I love this coaching staff. I love what they're bringing. And so my vision is to allow each person to grow in the way that they want to grow. If you have a coaching staff, you should have multiple coaches bidding to be a coordinator or bidding to be a head coach one day. That being said, there are certain responsibilities that you have to allow them to take on so they can learn and so they can acquire those tools and be successful in that. And I like that about this coaching staff, that you know a lot of coaches are chopping at the bit to do certain things, and that not only does that take responsibility off the huge plate, but it allows them to find themselves and create that ownership into what they can see. When I was a graduate assistant at UNI, I remember questioning the head coach on everything he did. Not knowing the whole story, but I would put myself in a situation and say, hey, when I'm in that situation, I'm going to make this call because of this, and this. And that's what all the coaches should do. Everything that I call, they should say, Coach, why did you call that? And I should have an answer, a logical answer. Now, to a man, you can disagree with it, but as long as I got a logical answer behind it, that's what we're doing. But if I don't have a reason or a rationale why I'm not doing something, then I'm failing them. And if I'm not allowing them to grow in their own area, I'm also failing them. So that's my vision. I want to see, it's my job to create an atmosphere of growth and learning for everybody that's around me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Coach, we don't got too many more questions for you, but I got a couple more. Y'all at Salvador this week.
Yes.
So you and Salvador are coming in this week 0-2, correct?
Correct.
So we're gonna get a winner out of this game, no matter what. But we normally do like a weekly pick'ems, and the last 2 weeks I've been rolling with y'all, man. You know, I'm a Falcon, but I still been rolling with y'all.
Appreciate that.
Why should I take y'all again on my weekly pick'ems this week? Why should I take y'all again?
Good question, brother. One thing I don't do, I don't make predictions. I make practice plans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm not going to predict anything. I tell you what I like. I like the practice we just came out of.
Yes, sir.
I like how the kids competed, and I also like the belief that's going on.
Yes, sir.
And it's not really about coaching. As much as, coaches get around and, we shine our egos, it's about these kids.
Yeah, for sure.
When these kids believe that they can do it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And right now, I see that belief in these kids. And so it's just our job to steer that stern, you know what I mean, to cultivate that. That's as much you're going to get from me.
What you think, Coach? Why should I roll with y'all this week?
Like you said, like this week, it's probably the best we done been, like as far as competing with each other, even trapping. Like he got to feel that his job is in jeopardy.
Yeah, so he
had
got to step up.
He had a great practice today. So like we wasn't getting that before. Like they was just here to be here. So just to see the change in the kids of actually wanting to win and compete in practice,
Yes, sir.
it makes a difference. It makes it easier for us
Yes, sir.
because now we got their attention.
Yes, sir.
So I feel like after today, going into tomorrow's walkthrough, it's probably the best I done felt in the last 3 weeks. Carter, I felt a little better just because we had something else going on. We done seen it happen. So like my goal is to get better every week.
Right.
We didn't win last week, but we scored 20 points offensively, which we didn't score one the week before.
Right.
And I feel like William Blood and Carter would be a good game right now.
Right.
Should we have beat both of them? Yeah, but growing pains happen, and we got to get through them. And I feel like we're growing and we're getting better.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
what you got back? One more non-district game before you get district?
No,
They got
this
district
road after this. Yeah, after this we roll. But I think we got really our toughest 2 games back to back.
Alcoa, Pigeon Forge used to be a G.
He got the receiver too, right?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
So, you got any more for me?
No,
I got one more. I got one more. I'm gonna end it like this, and I gotta end it like this, Coach. Me and you done had a lot of battles, man. A lot of battles. We ain't gonna go in particular.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, out of all the battles we played against, what was your favorite Fort versus Alcides matchup, man?
It was a couple of them. But really, it was our sophomore year. We lost, but it was a hell of a fight game. Like I think y'all jumped up 21-0 on us, and we fought all the way back.
Yeah, it was a scary game.
Yeah, I just knew we was gonna win. Like the regular season, I was tired of just winning that game. Like we had to get y'all to playoffs, and I feel like when we came back, I feel like we was about to get busted, which never happened to us. Like never until our senior year when we did that. Well, with John, we did that crazy stuff. But that game was live. Like to be down 21-0 to a state championship team, come back and really have the game in your hand. That game was just it was a roller coaster ride.
Talking about
I
that.
think you went over here.
I didn't win
You
nothing.
went up.
Talk a little bit about that game, Coach, where, I mean, that was a roller coaster ride. And we also picked up Bishop that year from y'all. But, you just like me, you heard the noise on this side and a little bit on that side. So we kind of heard the noise when we got Bishop. We didn't know what we was getting. We knew we could play, but we didn't really know what he was going to offer us.
So what y'all heard was he couldn't catch.
He couldn't catch.
Okay,
We all heard
the,
that.
The summer and the spring before him and his classmates ran him off. 'Cause that's what really happened.
His classmates ran him off.
Talking bad about
Albert.
Yeah. You got it.
Al Wood, come on, man.
Albert was saying stuff like that. I was cramping and they still gave the ball. He took it personal. He got out here, Rick Rice. They worked, and then he was up and gone.
All right, answer this too before I let you go, Coach. All the hype about him not being able to catch, and then when y'all finally got to see him in the Ford uniform and he did what he did, what was you thinking?
I was mad at my coaches. I've been mad at my coaches.
Right.
Because we should have gave him in the ball.
Yeah.
When my sophomore year, my freshman year, after was cramping, they put everybody in the backfield but him. I would have felt some type of way if I was him. I mean, I hated him for doing it, but I'm a gamer. I'm a dog. I respect it. But that really hurt us. Like first game, he didn't really do nothing to us.
Yeah, he didn't.
So I knew he was gonna come back because he had to hear them again.
Yeah.
His classmates,
Right.
his homeboys, he played all the way up. We played against him.
Right.
I ain't start playing with Browns everywhere. He ain't start playing with fools everywhere.
Yeah.
We was Raiders.
Yeah.
So them boys been together. So for me to see them doing like that, I felt it, but it really. I blame Coach Stevens.
Yeah.
Because Coach Stevens could have monetized it.
He could have.
He could have monetized it.
Sure.
That's why he left.
Yeah.
He didn't get the ball. And his classmates.
But here we are, what, 20-some years later,
Yeah.
and we still reminiscing. Two guys from the Eastside still reminiscing about those times, man. That game gotta get put back on the schedule, man.
Got to.
There's so many memories I can
I
talk for hours about this stuff.
But I do remember I said a year ago, they had me hot. I told them not to do that. We went over there and they walked on the Falcon, and I'm the only one playing my heart out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
The boy was mad.
Fuel to the fire. You know how it
They
goes.
was mad.
You know how it goes.
Man.
Hey, speaking of stomping on the Falcon, man, Mark Andrews, man, they had a Black Panther, man. And they were stomping it, man. They were stomping it. Shout out to the little road runners, man. And appreciate the big road runners for coming on the show. Appreciate you.
Wish y'all the best. Better to pick 'em.
Yes, sir. In the lab.
In the lab, we out.
We out of there.
Y'all know what time it is. You just tuned in the lab with Coach Rock and O. East Tennessee High School Sports Podcast. Bringing you all the exclusive interviews with some of the hottest players coming out of high school and the coaches from around the country here. Make sure you like and share this podcast. And stay tuned in each week. But enough of this. Let's get it.
In the lab.
Coach Rock.
And Coach O. We got Shane Cherry. And we got James Niyonkuru, right? Niyonkuru. It's a hard name right there, but I like it, man. It's a smooth name right there, man. We got two standouts. Austin East High today. Of course, y'all know Shane Cherry from the basketball court. And we got James here. He had an explosive game last game. Talk to us a little bit about the last game, fellas. Start with you, Shane.
Last game, really it just happened. Coach didn't have me want me to play QB. I just wasn't doing it. Then game came up. I just shut it up, really.
So what about you, James? What you think about the last game?
Going into the game, when I first started playing D-line, really didn't want to because I thought I was too small. But I'm kind of liking it now after all them sacks.
Yes, sir. I ain't around, man. In the trenches. I like that, James. Hey, that's what position I play, man. That's one of the hardest positions on the field. You're going against 300-pounders, 280-pounders every snap. So I applaud you for that, man. I appreciate you.
Hey Shane, what made you decide to play football this year? Like, what was the process of that, and how's it going for you so far?
I like it, really like. My mom never had been with me play football. And then coach had asked me, I told him I was going to play football. Then at first I was just coming to practice, watching. And he told me to shoot up, and I came out.
Last week I lost to Carter, but it seems like they got some momentum going in the second half. How y'all feel about going into momentum going into this weekend?
Good, because I probably started this game off. Last game I just had got tired late in the game. I had got fatigued. That's why I came out. So really, I say that game really on me.
What about you? What do you feel about the momentum y'all had last week going into this week?
I liked it, and I'm ready to carry on the next game. Yeah.
That's what's up.
This week y'all have who y'all got this week? I know I had on my notes South Door. Tell us a little bit what y'all seen in South Door and how y'all feel like y'all gonna pan out this weekend. Let's try that.
I haven't watched much, but I seen like they throw the ball a lot. They really don't do that many run plays. Their defense is like spread out a lot, but they like come in hard. That's really it.
What you think about South Door?
I really haven't been watching much, but I think I'll do good.
What's up? Shane, I got a chance to coach against you in Little League, man, and you was very explosive, quick, and very aggressive for your size, man. And we couldn't stop you, man, with the Goon Squad. We could not stop you, man, and we got to see a little bit of that, because I watched the game, man. We got to see a little bit of that, and I was like, man, I don't know how he gonna do, being that you done took a few years off, man, but it seemed like you came right back, man. And talk to us a little bit about you transitioning back into football from basketball. How was it, man? Because to me, you didn't lose no steps, man. Because you know, most people would take a year off. It take them a little minute to get back going. You seem like you right back to it, man. Talk to us a little bit
I
about
mean,
that.
really just like happened. I don't know what's gonna happen when I step out there. It really just came all in together. So it's really
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like to see it, man. I'm not sure if it's your first time being on the same team as your brother, but talk to us a little bit about being on the same team as your brother, and talk to us about what you think this season upholds for him.
really, I don't know. Like we good, but sometimes he be tripping on me. But he gonna be good though.
Yeah.
So he like football a lot more than me. Like he
Yeah.
really like it. I feel like he got a chance in football better than basketball. He gonna be good.
Yeah. Is this your first time being on the same team? That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
You had mentioned more weapons. Talk to us a little bit about the Marcus Allen and the receiver. I can't remember his last name. Number 2.
Brown?
Yeah, Brown. Like he made some plays for y'all last weekend. I mean, last Thursday.
Two very explosive guys, good guys. Just when they in it, they in the game. It's like go better for us. When they come to play, we definitely be different out there.
This question for you, James. Is it any other guys on the team that you looking to step up this year? I know it's still early. It's only coming up on week 3. Is there any other guys that you looking forward to stepping up this year for you guys?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's some players I would have thought would have been stepped up by now, but it's taking them a little longer. But I think they'll get there.
Okay. Any guys in particular, like any names you got?
What's his name? Weaver.
They,
Yeah.
David Weaver.
I think he'll do good by next year. I mean,
He's a freshman though, so
Yeah.
he's still,
Okay.
he's
That's
still
what's
getting
up.
into it.
That's what's up. Y'all got a lot of freshmen?
yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's the way to build it. Hey, Shane, I want to talk to you about, like right now, man, it's crazy with kids wanting to go wherever they want to go and play. And you was a highly recruited kid out of high school. Talk to us a little bit about your decision to stay home, man.
I mean, really, like, these my people. Anything I need, they got my back. So why would I run away from them? Everything right here for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear right there. What I like to hear. Do you think football is going to help you on the court?
Yeah, definitely get me stronger, more explosive, take more contact.
Yes, sir. Do you play any other sports outside of football, James? Just football? Okay. Okay. What you got for that, Coach?
You know, it's Friday school with. How you get prepared for the game? What's your preparation before the game? Like, what you like to do to get your mind ready for the game?
Really, I just be chilling. Really don't do too much. Just be chilling for real.
What about you?
For me, I try to eat less
What?
and I pray a lot.
Okay. Okay.
That's what's up. That's the first time I heard that, Coach.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing without the man above. Is there any particular music you like to hear on game days?
Nah, I'm sure you rap music.
Yeah.
That's really
Who you bumping right now when you coming out?
it really just depends. Really everybody though. But I was playing Young Boy first.
Young boy off top. What about you,
Everybody
James?
get that
I
every
get on
week.
my road wave, you know.
Rod Wave. I like Rod Wave. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, Shane, talk to us a little bit, because I'm big on nicknames, man. They call me Aham. I got many nicknames, Big O. I got so many nicknames, it's crazy. So I'm real big on nicknames. I feel like everybody should have an alter ego, sort of like Superman and Clark Kent. You know what I mean? When he put on the suit, he's Superman, but when he that regular guy, he Clark Kent. Talk a little bit about the Eastside Landlord, man. That's one of the hardest nicknames I done ever heard, man. Talk to us a little bit about that Eastside Landlord, man. Where did it come
I
from?
don't know where it came from. I still don't know now. Like, it just happened. They start calling me and everybody ran with it. But I still don't know where it came
Man,
from.
it's one of the hardest nicknames I done heard. For sure. You got a nickname, James, you want to go by? Or?
They call me Lil James sometimes. But
Lil James?
that's probably it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Everybody gotta have that alter ego, man, for sure.
Hey, James, you got any? You know, I know everybody got team goals, but you got any individual goals you got planned out for yourself?
Right now,
Yeah.
at least get one sack a game.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like that.
Or two.
Two.
like
Hey,
that. Two.
hey, shoot big. What about you, Shine?
Really just end zone. Really in that end zone.
Getting your hands on no matter what.
You like playing quarterback or you like playing receiver? Like being like, what you like playing better?
Really, you know, keep it real. Either one, but I don't like quarterback in practice, but in games, I like.
look like RG3 out there winning 10 running around there over shoulder.
Speaking of quarterback, Shane, if you could compare yourself to any NFL player, who would it be?
Definitely gotta go Lamar.
Lamar Jackson? Yes, sir. What about you, James?
If I could compare myself,
To any NFL player?
I don't know no D lineman like that.
Who would you see yourself being? Because you talked a little bit about you didn't even know you was gonna be at D line.
Yeah.
So before you transition to D line, who would you look at yourself as? Like, I'm that guy in the league.
I wanted to be like Aaron Jones at running back.
Yeah, you know, I like Aaron Jones.
I ain't gonna lie though, we be getting like 5 or 6 of Curry.
Oh yeah.
He be running from.
Yeah, that's what's up. Them little quick defensive linemen are hard to block for some of them big offensive linemen, man. Especially when they gotta reach down and you already going down. So it's tough right there, man. It's tough. If you was comparing yourself to somebody on the basketball court, who would it be?
John Moran.
John Moran. I like it. I like it. Yes, sir. Yes,
What you like
sir.
better, football, basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Football fun too. I won't say that. It's definitely fun.
Alright.
Do you got any goals for yourself set for the season? Because like you said, it just all kind of happened. Last game, you weren't even a starting quarterback. Now coming into this week, you are. Do you got any personal goals you want to set for yourself? And what will be your team goals you want to accomplish with your guys?
All right, personal goal. One game, I'm definitely trying to get a receiving, going, and a
Hat trick.
runner.
Hat trick.
You definitely got that. Yo,
I think I'm supposed to get it last
you
game.
really got that last game. Yeah.
The
Yes,
team
sir.
goal is definitely, I want to get us a state for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, James? Any personal goals for yourself? And then, is there any team goals you want to accomplish this year as well?
Team goes, I want to get farther than what we did last year.
Mhm.
I feel like we already better.
Yeah.
So, and personal goals, I just want to be better in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What grade are you, John?
Junior.
Yes, sir.
Bring a quick question, Coach, today?
I didn't get the
No,
quick
man.
questions. I've been having some phone trouble, but we will get those back rolling. Is there anything you want to leave or say to the fans before we get you out of here, Shane or James?
Man, sure everybody tune in. Best interview right here.
Yes, sir.
Y'all on the road this week or y'all home?
Yeah, we're on the road, right, Coach?
South Door. So make sure y'all tune in. All Cities versus South Door. Make sure y'all check both of these young guys out. Make sure y'all give them support, and make sure y'all share, like our podcast.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Good luck.
Y'all know what time it is. You just tuned in to In the Lab with Coach Rock and O. East Tennessee High School Sports Podcast. Bringing you all the exclusive interviews with some of the hottest players coming out of high school